Hi, it's Barbie here, and thanks for joining me for a cup of tea with Born to RV. We moved on from our coach. We had an Integra 45 foot, and I wanted to downsize, so I test drove so many coaches. Gas, I drove diesel, I drove different lengths. So our first coach was a 41 foot, but I never drove that one. And so the first coach that I've ever driven was our last coach, which was, it was 45 feet long. And right from the start, I was nervous, but I thought I'd grow out of it, but I didn't. I never grew out of how long it was. So anyways, this coach was about making me comfortable driving so I can share more in our driving. We love travel days, and I just would like to do part of the driving. And I found that I was right around the 31 to 33 foot area, and we got a new coach, and it's a Class A gas, and it's the one I felt most comfortable driving. Precept 31UL, and I think it's about 33 feet long, and I drove everything. It's a Class A. That was a must-have. We like to turn those seats around. We do like being up higher as we're, on travel days. We love travel days, and we love to see the extra few feet of scenery. A lot of times it's right by the ocean. So if you're going along the ocean and you're in a car, you see mangroves and other plants and everything, but you can't see the ocean. And that's being a few feet higher, you can see right over and see the water. I do love the ocean. And these must-haves are not what everybody else would want. It's really what John and I want. Everybody's going to have their own must-haves when you're looking for a coach. But so it was a Class A. That was must-have. Check. Got that off. Theater seating. That's the automatic theater seating. The backs go back, so they lay down. That was my husband's request. So the theater seating, check. We got that too. The king size bed. These are non-negotiating areas. We had to have a king size bed, and check. We have to have a king size bed. We just sleep better that way. If anybody wakes up and needs to get up at night, the other person doesn't wake. We found a lot of coaches we liked, but they didn't have a king size bed in them. So that was a deal breaker. This has one full wall of bedroom storage. Even though we full-time RV, we still like to take a few vacations a year on a cruise ship. And we used to dress for formal night in my husband's tuxedo, and I would have the beautiful gowns, and now we don't. Now we just wear dresses. The last cruise we didn't. I wore a dress, he wore a suit, so we got rid of our formal wear. This is stuff you don't need when you're running around in an RV. We took a look at all the stuff we had in the other coach between the closets and the basement underneath. We were shocked at the stuff we were carrying that we did not use. Must have in the new coach was an in-dash GPS, check. This coach has that. Auto leveling jacks was another must have, check. And these auto leveling jacks come from the same company as our last coach. So we had a problem once with the last coach. I think maybe in the second year there was a little problem. We stopped by their factory and they took care of it. No problem at all. So we know they're backed by a good company. Another must-have we had was solid surface countertops. And so we have those. Check. Oh, and also, it wasn't on our list, but the tile behind the counter. And so it's a tile going down here and over there. Yeah, for my husband, wanted a water and ice in the door. And so I think that was his way of saying residential refrigerator. So check, we have that on our checklist for our must-haves. Was as little carpet as possible. And this coach has no carpet. None whatsoever. Now the other coach was had a beautiful opulent floor. The tiles were 24 inches long, and they were these gold, that's inlays, these gold glass tiles. Yeah. This coach has the blinds. I'll close that. It's a little too bright for the camera. So they have the roller blinds, which was a must for us. And outside the coach, we needed the frameless windows. Check. This coach has it. And we needed the outdoor television. It has that too. So I don't even think I've tested it out yet to make sure it works. But so we carried a lot of stuff. So our other coach had so much under the basement storage that we didn't even know what we had down there. So this storage is nowhere close to what we had, but one of our must-haves was there's at least a little pass-through. We have a ladder, and I have a lot of fishing gear, so we needed enough to hold those items. So we have enough, we have more than enough storage for what we do need, and right now we do know what it's below. It's not. So along with our must-haves, that we also had a list of, okay, these are not deal breakers, but if it has it, that's nice. If it was between two coaches and one coach had these items, we might choose that over the other one. On our nice to have list was glass doors in the shower. So if it has a glass door, it's just easier for me to clean. Check. This coach has it. So that's pretty good. And in the sink, in the kitchen, a double bowl, with one of those dividers in between, so you have two drains. Check. This one has it. Items that I thought would be nice to have that we've never had in either one of our other coaches was one of those cockpit tables. In a Class A, you can turn your front seats around and you could put the table there. I think some of the Class C's have them too. Yeah. And I thought that would be nice to have. So we got one. Yep, this coach has it. Check. That was on the list and it's checked off. And it's bigger. It's larger than I even expected, which makes it really nice for a laptop. So that's, you can just put your laptop on it, and yeah, it works out really good for that. And I wasn't even expecting that it would work well for a laptop. So that works out good. So also on the nice to have list is the Legless Table. So we notice when we're getting in and out of coaches and checking them out that if we both get into a booth or even a table that has legs, that it's a bit cumbersome. So we like a table without any legs underneath it. And we didn't care if it was a booth or chairs. So this coach has a booth and it has a table with no legs. So it's just attached to the wall. I'm checking it out now. So it's attached to the wall, and it has two metal brackets that come out and make it really secure. So there's nothing to get in the way of your feet area. And I think it's small items, but when you live in a smaller area, you notice these things. And everybody will have their own stuff. For somebody else, it might be how a door opens or how windows open. So yeah, for us, it's a legless table. Check. This one has it. Most coaches have one of those air antennas, and on the last two coaches, we had to twirl them to raise and lower, and at least twice we forgot to lower them. And so this coach, if we could have done it again, it wasn't a deal breaker, but we have on the nice to have list before we got this new coach was the air antenna that you do not have to raise and lower. And check. So that finalizes both the must-have and the nice-to-have. But take your time. Take your time. I drove everything there was out there. I drove. I drove. I'd never driven a Class B, and I'd never driven a Class C. So even though I wasn't shopping for those, I went ahead and drove them anyways. If I was in a situation where the salesperson was very nice, and sometimes it was, here's your coach, this is when you're test driving, and that's that. You're not here just to play around. I used the internet. Once we got the quote, I went all around. So we're pretty happy, and John's still adjusting to not having all the opulence, the luxuries. I mean, this has everything. This is everything we need in a smaller. John's starting to get a little excited over the parks we can stay in. We never really looked towards many state parks, and so now he's looking at the different state parks we can stay in. A lot of people say we have no problem parking when they have a 45-foot RV, but in all reality, we never looked at parks unless it said big rig friendly. So we had no problem parking, but we never went into other parks. And we're excited for the new opportunities of the state parks in the national state parks that we can go into. When we were in Alaska, the first time we just boondocked, that's everywhere. And this last time I really, really wanted to get into Denali and camp, but we couldn't. We were too big. Our coach was way too big for their limits. So that was the only time. That was the only time I felt, oh man, I really wanted to go there. So now we can. Now we're in the right size. Yeah, we're excited about the new opportunities, and just wanted to let you know we moved on and got a new coach. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.